This is the video for Mod 12, Lesson 2B, Lines of Tangent to a Circle, Part 2. The goal of this lesson is going to be to use properties of tangent segments to find angle measurements. So we're using the idea that we have right angles being formed, possible triangles being formed, so angles add up to 180. And we're also going to find lengths of segments using tangent segment properties. So it's really just a continuation of what we've already been doing. We just might see things other than Pythagorean theorem be used. So the first example we have here, it says find the indicated angle given the tangent segment. So we have that we can assume this is our tangent segment because they tell us in the problem, which means that this creates a right angle. So the question is then, what is the measure of x? X is an angle measurement. It's one of the interior angles of the triangle. So really, we're just adding up to 180. So I know that my 90-degree angle plus my 43-degree angle plus this third mystery angle is 180. And then we can just go ahead and solve for x. So that's one way to do it. Another way is you might notice that these two angles add up to 90, so that might actually be even a little bit faster to solve it that way if you recognize that property. And when we solve this, we're going to get our answer to be 47 degrees. And that would be our final answer. This next example is a little bit trickier, but we're going to see that there's a relationship we can use that makes it a little easier to do. So I don't know what angle R is, so I'm going to call it X. We have that this arc is 126 degrees. And there's a few other things that we know, though. We know that SR we can see as a tangent. We could see QR is also a tangent. I don't see a center to the circle, so I'm going to go ahead and add a center. And if I was to draw radii from the center to the points of tangency, it's actually going to make right angles. We also know that if this is 126, the central angle is 126. So the reason that this is helpful is if I have this four-sided figure, I know that a quadrilateral has to add up to 360, or if I wanted to even split it, I could and get two 180 triangles. So if we go ahead and write that out, I have 126 plus 90 plus 90 plus x is 360. When we put those together, we're going to get 306 plus x is 360. And then we're going to get that to be 54 degrees. So our answer would be 54. One thing we might notice, though, because again, we're using the property a quadrilateral adds up to 180. But if I was to just write in the answer, you could see this is 54, this is 126. It's not a coincidence that these add up to 180, right? So if I know the inscribed arc with it, if there's an exterior angle, 126 and 54 adds up to 180, right? Which makes sense because these two have to be 90. 90 plus 90 minus from 360 is 180. So you can easily have done 180 minus 126 and also have gotten 54 degrees. So that might be a faster way to do the problem. The other property we're going to see with tangent segments is talking about segment lengths. We kind of saw this in the other example, but they were using it with just talking about angles. So if two segments are have the same exterior point outside the circle, and these are both tangent segments, then the segments are going to be the same length, right? So AB is going to be the same as BC. So what that means is for these problems, if I see two segments tangent to the same circle that intersect, they're going to be the same length. So in this example, if I look, I see I have two segments tangent to the same circle. They give us expressions for their length. So if the question is find the length of the segments, if they're the same length, I can just set them equal to each other. So I have here 3x plus 6 is equal to 2x plus 9, and I can go ahead and solve it. I get x to be 3, but notice they want you to find the length. So rarely are you going to have it on like a standardized test. They want just the value of x. Usually you got to find something with it. So if I substitute in 3 for x for this first expression, I get 15. So yx is actually 15. And then I can substitute it in for the second one, but I know that they're the same already. So both of these are going to be 15. And that would be my final answer. If you have questions, make sure you are trying the U-Try problems and then asking for help during class, signing up for T-Bolt time, or getting help in the center.